Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, and welcome to Saffron City, where today the Saffron Psychics are hosting the Goldenrod Giants. Now Giants are going to be starting out with Stoutland and Miltank being their team mascot practically, as the Saffron Psychics are going to start out with Slowking and Executor. Now neither of these sides can make the championship trials next week, we already know that, but the Saffron Psychics could actually get the first ever wooden spoon in the Elite Challenge League. So with that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win today. Will it be the Saffron Psychics or will it be the Goldenrod Giants? Miltank is going to start out with a Trop Kick for the Giants and go straight after Executor. Now it's not going to be very effective on the Grass Psychic type, but it is going to lower Executor's attack stat. Stoutland looking to follow it up, so that speed advantage is on the side of the normal types and goes with a Dream Eater, which isn't going to affect Executor because Executor is not asleep. That's the only time Dream Eater will work, and we've not seen it successful yet this season, as an X-Scissor from Executor is going to connect with Stoutland. Slowking looking to follow up. Slowking is going to go with an Ingrain, so it's going to plant those roots. Slowking will restore health if it loses any health in between turns. It hasn't lost any yet. Now, as always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, and if we hit that 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. Miltank now going for the Gear Grind. See how many times this move will hit. It is a multi-hit move. It hits once on Slowking. It's hit twice. See if we can get all 5. It only gets 2 though, and it's not very effective. Stoutland we've seen hit numerous one-hit KO moves throughout the season. See if it can get any today as it goes for a Rock Smash onto Executor. Again, not very effective. But it is going to lower Executor's defense this time. So with every bit they chip away to Executor, they seem to be lowering the stats as Executor goes with the Terrain Pulse. Now, there's no terrain for it to use for that move at the moment, but it does connect there with Stoutland. Slowking, going to follow up with an Aurora Beam. And it's going to go for Miltank with that attack. Miltank taking its first damage of the matchup, and here's that Ingrain taking effect. Slowking restoring some health. Now, Saffron Psychics are currently sitting 17th. They are one spot above the Snow Point Frost and 1 win above them. But if they win today, you know they will not get the wooden spoon. But if they lose, they could drop down to 18th as Miltank goes with a Cotton Guard. Miltank boosting its stats there, lifting up its defense. Stoutland now with its opportunity. And Stoutland goes with the Eerie Spell. Continuing to target Executor. Again, not very effective, but it does reduce Executor's Metronome by 3. Now we get a Steel Wing coming from Executor. Going for Miltank this time, doing the minimalist of damage. Lowering Executor's attack stat has paid off. As now we're getting a superpower from Slowking. This will be super effective on the normal types. And Miltank is eliminated with that move. A critical hit, super effective. It does lower Slowking's attack and defense in the process. Regardless, Miltank is eliminated, which is exactly what the Saffron Psychics need, as Slowking again restores health thanks to its Ingrain. Third Pokemon now coming out for the Goldenrod Giants, and it's going to be Bouffalant coming out for the side. Now, we didn't see Tauros on the side of the Goldenrod Giants. It wasn't drafted to them this season, but we have to wonder, will it be drafted in for the Goldenrod Giants next season? It's only eligible to be on the normal side, as Executor, just like that, eliminated by Stoutland with another super effective move. And in the process, after that Bug Bite, Stoutland takes the Leopard Berry from Executor and proceeds to eat it as it eliminates it. Bouffalant now going to go for a Scratch attack onto Slowking. And a very good hit just from the Scratch attack by Bouffalant. Bouffalant does have that 110 physical attack status. Slowking now is going to perform a dive, so it'll hide underwater. You will see that hit in the next turn, and it will get a stab boost, as Slowking is a Psychic Water type. Now we have Mr. Rhyme coming out for the Saffron Psychics. Mr. Rhyme is a Galarian-based Pokemon, Ice Psychic type. Stoutland needs to focus on Mr. Rhyme because it will not connect with Slowking, and goes for the Rock Wrecker, but it does go for Slowking, who avoids it. Mr. Rhyme going for its first move of the matchup, and it goes with a Milk Drink, practically rubbing it in the face of Miltank, who was previously eliminated in this matchup. Now Bouffalant going with a U-turn. It is going to go for Mr. Rhyme, clearly not happy with what it saw. Mr. Rhyme taken down into the yellow with that super effective hit. Bouffalant will go back to the bench. Don't be confused, it was not eliminated, it's still in this matchup. However, coming out for the Goldenrod Giants, it's going to be Beware. As Slowking goes with that dive, and hits Stoutland, taking it down into the yellow. And again, Slowking continuing to restore health between turns. And Stoutland now goes with another Eerie Impulse. Now we've already seen it use this move. This time it uses it onto Slowking. So now Slowking has its special attack lowered. I apologise as well, it wasn't an Eerie Impulse, it was an Eerie spell as that rollout from Mr. Rhyme will miss Beware. And Beware is going to respond with an Ice Punch. And it will go for Mr. Rhyme with that attack, taking it down into the red now. It's not very effective, but it was still a decent hit. Goldenrod Giant's clearly not happy with Mr. Rhyme after that milk drink. As Slowking goes with a Giga Drain onto Beware, taking Giga Drain at Beware's health and using it to restore Slowking. Slowking just keeps restoring its own health with that Ingrain and things like Giga Drain. So Slowking is still in the green. Stoutland and Slowking have been in this battle since the very start. Stoutland now going to go with the Trick or Treat. It's going to add the Ghost type into one of the Saffron Psychics. Its target being Slowking. So Slowking now will be immune to fighting the normal type attacks. So Mr. Rhyme, who's still hanging on, is going to go with a Weather Ball. There's no weather to capitalize on here, so it will just be a normal move. Going for Beware here. Getting a decent hit on the Big Bear. But Beware could actually finish Mr. Rhyme off here, but it goes for its own Trick or Treat, which will fail. Yeah, makes you have to think that it was going to target Slowking with that move. Slowking now going with the Screech. Targeting Stoutland with that move. Stoutland does have its defense harshly lowered. And again, Slowking still restoring health in between turns. Now, Goldenrod Giants had a very up and down season. They actually lost to the bottom sides, but they also beat some of the top sides. They beat the Heart Home Haunts. They beat your Levine Ore. As Stoutland now goes with a Lava Plume. It's going to hit everybody on the field. It's going to eliminate Mr. Rhyme, but it's a critical hit on its own teammate Beware. Beware gets taken down into the red, and Slowking's left with a burn. So that move by Stoutland doing massive damage across the battlefield. Now Beware going with a Hydro Pump. And it does very minimal damage to Slowking, as it's not very effective on the water psychic type. Slowking looking to respond though, is going to go with a high jump kick, but Stoutland avoids the attack, which means Slowking keeps going and crashes hard, doing damage to itself, taking itself down into the yellow. Now Slowking restores health from that Ingrain, but it loses the health it restores from that burn, so the burn is going to negate the Ingrain as Gardevoir comes out for the Saffron Psychics now. Gardevoir going for its first move of the matchup. Going with the Hyper Voice. It's going to hit both Beware and Stoutland. And it's a critical hit on Beware. Beware taking 2 critical hits in a row. And it is eliminated. Stoutland must be shaking its head after hitting its own teammate. And now Stoutland going to go with a Smart Strike in response. Targeting Gardevoir. And a massive hit taking Gardevoir down into yellow. Almost into the red. That super effective move. Slowking could eliminate Stoutland here, going with a Magical Leaf. Stoutland's already in the red. That Magical Leaf won't get the job done though. As Slowking again restoring health and then losing that health it restores. But it is now a 4 versus 4 battle with Saffron Psychics leveling the play-in field as Bouffalant comes back onto the battlefield for the Goldenrod Giants. Now both Gardevoir and Slowking are in the yellow, so Bouffalant could capitalise on that, but Gardevoir has the speed advantage, so it could potentially take down Stoutland, and it goes with a Flamethrower. And I almost thought it was going to go for Bouffalant there, but it does go for Stoutland, and it gets the job done, so the Saffron Psychics have taken the lead. Bouffalant now looking to respond though, and it's going to go with a Drain Punch. Doesn't affect Slowking though, because of its Ghost typing. That Trick or Treat from earlier coming into play. Slowking now going with the Flail. Doing very little damage to Bouffalant whatsoever. The Goldenrod Giants will be sending out their 5th Pokemon shortly. And it's Porygon Z. Porygon Z was their 3rd draft pick this season, and Porygon Z's download ability boosts its attack stat. Yeah, Goldenrod Giants, as I said, had a very up and down season. Unfortunately, though, they could not be consistent enough to get into the top 8 for the championship trials, as that slash from Porygon won't affect the Ghost type Slowking. Gardevoir now going with the Baton Pass, so Gardevoir is going to go back to the bench, similar to what Bouffalant did earlier with its U-turn. Coming out in its place will be Starmie, the Water Psychic type. And Bouffalant's going to go with the Horn Leech, targeting Starmie. So Starmie taking massive damage, taking it down into the yellow. Super effective move. Bouffalant restoring its health with that Horn Leech. Fitting, considering Bouffalant has massive horns on its head. Now we get a Bullet Punch coming from Slowking, targeting Bouffalant. Bouffalant losing a minimal bit of health, as Slowking continuing with that Ingrained Burn, which again, they negate the effects of each other. Now Starmie going for its first move of the matchup. It's already in the yellow, and it's going to go with a Psybeam, so it will get the Stab Boost being a Psychic type attack. Going for Bouffalant here. Decent hit on a normal type Pokemon. Porygon Z now. Going with the Venom Drench, but that does fail. Bouffalant looking to make up for its teammate. It's going to go with a Fire Punch. And this won't be very effective on the Water Pokemon. However, it does get Starmie down into the red. Both Slowking and Starmie Water Psychic types. We get a Twister coming from Slowking. This is going to hit both Porygon and Bouffalant. Saffron Psychics having only won 4 games this season. Starmie goes with the Memento, so Starmie's going to take itself out of the matchup. Starmie didn't have much health left, so this could potentially be a good play, but I never see it going very well for sides. It does lower the attack and special attack of Porygon Z though, but Starmie is eliminated, which means Gardevoir will be coming back onto the field shortly. But Porygon Z and Bouffalant can target Slowking now. Porygon Z going with a Harden, so it boosts its defense stats. And Bouffalant now going with the Reversal. Again, a fighting type move won't affect Slowking thanks to that new added Ghost typing. Slowking though, gonna go with a Water Gun. It will get the Stab Boost being a Water type. Going for Porygon Z doesn't do a great deal of damage. You have to think, will it get that Stab Boost now that it has that Ghost typing? Unbelievable that Slowking Burn Ingrain is still continuing. Slowking having been in this matchup for over 10 minutes now. And Gardevoir and Slowking, again, both in the yellow. Bouffalant, Porygon Z are both in the green. Porygon Z with the speed advantage on the field goes for a Body Slam. Again, normal type moves aren't going to affect Slowking though, which means Gardevoir can capitalize here. And it's going to go with a Focus Blast. This will be super effective. And Porygon Z is eliminated. Saffron Psychics have taken the lead. Massive hit though, that Focus Blast. Huge hit from Gardevoir. Bouffalant's going to go with the Stuffed Cheeks. It's going to boost its defense whilst eating its Leopard Berry here. But Slowking could capitalize and try and take down the normal Pokemon whilst it's by itself on the field. Slowking instead goes with the Supersonic, which will leave Bouffalant confused. Hopefully Bouffalant doesn't start ramming its head into the walls. The Goldenrod Giants surely will be sending out their final Pokemon after Slowking's Burn Ingrain combination continues. The last Pokemon coming out for the Goldenrod Giants will be Blissey. Blissey has the highest HP stat of any Pokemon in the Elite Challenge League of 255. So we'll see if that can help it last in this battle as Gardevoir goes with the Noble Roar, targeting Blissey as it came onto the field. Blissey will have its attack and special attacks lowered. Now that doesn't have very strong stats, especially its attack only being 10, as Bouffalant hits itself in its confusion. Now Blissey is going to go for a Magma Storm and goes for Gardevoir with that move. And Gardevoir hangs on, but that Magma Storm will do damage in between turns, so Gardevoir will be finished off at the end of this turn as Slowking goes for a double hit on Blissey, and it gets the 2 hits. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, however. And again, Slowking with that silly ingrained burn combination. But here comes that Magma Storm on Gardevoir, taking it down, which means it's now a 2 versus 2 battle. And it's Gallade, the last Pokemon for the Saffron Psychics. It's surely not going to be very happy with Blissey having taken down Gardevoir. See if Gallade has anything to say about it, especially now that it has the speed advantage on the field. And it's going to go with a Flatter. So it's going to complement Blissey as it comes onto the field and boost its special attack, but it does leave Blissey confused, and even I'm a little bit confused as to why Gardevoir would want to flatter Blissey, but Bouffalant, still confused, is able to shake off its confusion. Bouffalant goes with the cut, again not affecting the Ghost Slowking. Blissey in its confusion shakes it off as well. Blissey's going to go with the Power Trip. And that massive Power Trip goes all over Slowking, taking it down into the red. It is super effective, but Slowking's still hanging on. Slowking throws a Sticky Web onto the side of the Goldenrod Giants. It's not going to have any impact on this battle though, because nobody else is coming onto the field. The last 2 Pokemon on both sides that we will see this season. Hopefully both of these 2 teams can have better showings next season. So I know the Saffron Psychics are pushing to get Metagross traded from the Olivine Ore to the Saffron Psychics, so I'll be really intrigued to see if that happens for next season. Gallade going with the conversion, changing its type to normal, as Bouffalant snaps out of its confusion and goes with the Heal Bell. That Heal Bell will fail, but Blissey snaps out of its confusion as well. Blissey going with the X-Scissor. And this should finish Slowking off, and it does. So Slowking has finally been taken down after being in this matchup for over 16 minutes. Very impressive showing there by Slowking. Gallade now all by itself. Now Gallade has the speed advantage over the Giants. It needs to get these eliminations. With only 3 minutes left in this battle, Gallade goes with a Flame Charge onto Blissey. It will boost its speed stat in the process. Again, we got our 3-minute warning. Blissey is going to go with the Leech Seed, but Gallade avoids that attack. Bouffalant now with its opportunity. And it's going to go with an Overheat. Gallade taking its first damage of the matchup. Now that Overheat will lower Bouffalant's special attack in the process. Bouffalant only has a special attack of 40 however, so it's not very powerful in that department. Gallade goes with the tea time, so everyone's going to eat their leper berries now. Everybody enjoying their last moments of the 2021 Elite Challenge League season that these 2 sides will see. Blissey now going with the Slash. As that 2-minute warning appears on the screen, there's only 2 minutes left in this battle. We could potentially be going into overtime. That Encore from Bouffalant will fail. Now Gallade going to go with a Rock Blast. It's a multi-hit move. Going for Bouffalant. That first hit takes it down into the yellow. It's got 2. It gets 3. It's got 4. And it only gets 4. Almost got the 5 times. Bouffalant now with its opportunity. Sets up for its move and it goes with the Metal Sound. So it's not a physically offensive move, but instead it's going to lower Gallade's special defense. Blissey going to go with the Teleport. That does fail. It's got nobody to switch with on the bench. Gallade again needs to get these eliminations. It's going to go with a Water Spout. It's going to hit both Bouffalant and Blissey as that countdown clock. We are in our last minute of this matchup. Bouffalant gets taken down into the red. We have 51 seconds left. Blissey now goes with the Trick Room, which will actually switch everybody's speed, which means Bouffalant and Blissey will be going before Gallade, and we should have time for another turn. Bouffalant's going to go with a Meteor Mash. And we're not going to need another turn because that was a critical hit. Gallade has been eliminated. The Goldenrod Giants win here today. They finish their season off with a victory. That Slowking superpower early on in the battle. Massive elimination of Miltank. But the Saffron Psychics have lost here in their home city. A poor way to end their season, a 4-14 record. And they could potentially end up on the bottom of the ladder if the Snow Point Frost win this week. But the Goldenrod Giants end up with a balanced 9-9 season. Unfortunately for them, they could not be consistent enough to get into the championship trials. And they had the worst start to the season. They lost the very first ever Elite Challenge League game in a clean sweep. They were able to redeem themselves against the Hearthome Haunts later in the season. But again, the Goldenrod Giants, they lost to the bottom sides. They lost to the Snow Point Frost. They were able to beat the top team, the Olivine Ore. Again, they were just a very inconsistent side. Saffron Psychics, however, were actually a rather disappointing side. I really thought they would do much better this season. But like I said, they are trying to get Metagross across to them for next season. That's if Metagross wants to even leave the top team in the league. But this matchup, I will admit, showed the best of both sides. It was very back and forth. Very impressive play by Slowking, staying in this battle for so long, especially with that Ingrain Burn back and forth battle. But Bouffalant, been in this battle for so long, very dominant. Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on foot. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, please leave a like, share, subscribe. Look forward to seeing you guys next season and in the championship trials. But until then, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll speak to you next time.